Welcome back to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Today, we're talking about the push kick versus the front kick. How are they similar and how are they different? Today's episode, we're going to distinguish the difference between a front kick and a push kick. I started from a traditional martial arts, Taekwondo, where I got my second-degree black belt, and that's where I really learned the front kick. And I learned the front kick as a strike for offense. It's a strike to hurt your opponent, and we've seen it later on in martial arts with the Vitor Belfort, Anderson Silva. So the front kick is an effective strike to hurt your opponent. But in more modern kickboxing and Muay Thai, we're seeing more of the use of a push kick and that teep. And in my vocabulary, push kick and teep are the same word, the same strike. And what it is, it's more of a defensive technique. We use it more to keep our opponent at range. If they throw our punches, we keep that front kick away so we can manage our distance and keep the fight on the outside. Especially in Muay Thai, push kick is such an effective weapon. It helps them set up their knees, their round kicks, as well keep a beautifully well-timed fight. And it's a good timing setup for a lot of good kickers as well. But the front kick is used more as an offensive strike. And what we want to do is we got to understand the difference in how to throw it. And that's where the big distinguishing difference happens. When I throw my push kick, I tend to use my hip a little bit more and I kind of spear forward. So the hip drive is a very important part of that teep because you need to keep them at range. You need to stop a movement and a body coming forward. Where the front kick is different because you use more of that chamber. And in that chamber, you're able to strike in return, and that's what's gonna do the damage. If I front kick someone right to the solar plexus, that's like me dropping a rear straight to the body. There's a lot of snap and there's a lot of impact. Where that push kick is more of that push away, drive of the hip, keeping more of a straight leg to keep that range. Because if someone's coming forward, you wanna keep them away, and that's what that push kick is good for. So there is not necessarily a push, but it does what it says. It keeps my opponent away by kind of pushing them away. Where that front kick is more of that stab motion that I'm looking for. So make sure when you're throwing it, you understand the difference. Especially if you're on the inside and you got good straight punches, that front kick to the solar plexus is one of the best strikes you can do. Especially as we've seen in the mixed martial arts fight, you can also change the direction of that front kick to the chin and mix up levels. And that's how you can get the knockout with the front kick. But when you throw the push kick, we don't really throw the push kick to knock our opponent out. And that's what the biggest difference is. Yes, they're similar because they look the same and the motion is very similar. But pay close attention to the hip versus that knee extension, and that's gonna give you the biggest understanding of what the difference between the two is. Push kick teep, we're talking about more defensive hip use, where that front kick, more chamber, more damage, and we're looking for a finish. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and make sure you keep liking, subscribing, and click the notification bell, and make sure you stay up to date with Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA.